Yo, this is the Black Room Experience, B.L.A.C.C, Room, Black, Latin, Asian, Caucasian Conversation. And I have somebody in here that is near and dear to me. This is my auntie. This is an amazing lady. This is an intellectual. She is so many different things. She checks so many different boxes. She's a minister. She's a nurse. She's a mental health professional. Like, she does so many different things. And she might be the first person I ever seen graduate college. Are you?
I know in my family, yes.
Yeah. Like, we talking about somebody that's incredible, truly incredible. How you doing, lady?
Good. I'm great.
Right. Every time I see her, we have natural conversations. Yes. I usually, before we start, I'll write down some questions, things I want to ask, just to have like footnotes, but I don't even know if we're going to need those. We always talk, and just before you know it, it's an hour or two to pass. So
it's easy.
Yeah. How you doing? Like in everyday life, what's new?
I always got something going.
Mm-hmm.
And that just fuels me. So I always got at least 2 or 3 things going at once, which is, I don't know, that's my jam. That's what I do. So I'm good.
4th of July just passed. What you do?
Nothing.
I feel you.
It was hot. And I had food brought to me, so.
Oh, okay. So let's get into like history. This is my aunt by marriage. She's just like any other aunt. She's been with my uncle before I was born, so I don't know no different. How'd you meet Unc?
Okay, so I actually came up here because my brother was living up here, and so we all went to a party that night. Now, I was a little young, shouldn't have been at the party, but anyway, it was pretty. Rappers delight. We was dancing.
Okay, yeah.
And that's how we met. And I thought he kind of cute, And but a couple of years went past, and then he probably did. He probably did, actually.
Okay.
But I said a couple of years, but maybe some months went by, and I had to come back up here for my brother again, and we met again during the fair, and then we just kind of started talking on the phone every night, sleeping on the phone.
Look at you.
And here we are. And, that was in 81, 82.
82.
Yeah,
that was way before we was born. So y'all.
Yeah, it's a long time. A very long time. So
yeah.
I always say, it's a tough job, but somebody had to do it.
Yeah.
So I think he probably feel the same way.
For those that don't know, her son is like my twin brother. We only like a month apart. And we grew up like this here, really, really tight. So I was always at her house, and he was always at my mom's house. So that's how we got real.
Man, y'all did things I didn't know y'all was doing.
There we go. Yeah, we was, our minds was different.
I mean, y'all was boys. Y'all was absolutely boys. I just think people say, "Well, them boys are bad." Them boys ain't that bad. Now I know the story, but
Yeah, hey, I was just thinking. Matter of fact, we might as well go in on it. Because before the podcast, she brought up me saying, "Auntie, why you always say the word expensive?"
Yeah.
And at the time, this is why it's funny, because at the time, I had never heard that word from anybody else except her. So to me, being a kid, I'm like, damn, that's a big word, expensive. Like, what's that? But I was telling her, I was about to tell her, I was waiting until we got on the podcast. I was like, man, our minds used to be like tripping, man. When I look at my son, he 10, I'm like, he ain't nothing like we was. Like, we was driving cars.
Oh, man.
We was
y'all was sitting on the top of the house.
Right. So, I was thinking the other day, I remember genuinely being mad at people that buy fireworks and shoot them in the air.
Really?
I used to be like, why you wasting fireworks? Like, you supposed to shoot them at somebody. Like, what you doing? Like, that used to bother me. I used to like, man, what's wrong with me, man?
I was like, why you blowing up money?
Right? Yeah. But that's crazy that you say that. But what was you talking about? What was you referring to when you said we was into stuff that you ain't know?
Man, I mean, just some things, I be checking out different posts on Facebook.
Yeah.
And my son be writing. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I didn't know y'all was doing all that.
Yeah.
But y'all live to see another day.
Yeah, though.
But again, to kind of make it all normal, y'all were being boys and being kids.
Yeah.
Which is a lot different from what I see for the most part today.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah, that's one thing I was telling my cousin the other day at the barbecue. I'm like, man, I be wanting my son to be just gone for hours like we was. We'd be gone for hours and everything be fine. But the problem is there's no village anymore. Like, my son go out by himself. He gonna be by himself going everywhere. When I went out, I'm with 10, 15 kids, So it's just different, man.
It's definitely a lot of kids are way more isolated. Unfortunately, and I don't know. We just live in a different world.
Yeah, and it's a lot. Like, I saw this lady the other day. She's cool, but her kid, if something happened with a firework, her kid ended up getting hit with it, whatever. And she made this long post about how she's never participating in fireworks and they should ban it and this time. I'm like, man, like, when do we get to the point where everybody's a Karen? Everybody's just crying about everything. I can't get with this world, man.
I think that, I don't do fireworks, but that's not because I can't.
Yeah.
It's because I choose not to.
Yeah.
But I don't care who chooses to. And I think that's what we kind of lost. Nobody wants to be a carbon copy of the next person. Let people live how they want to live. Right. And if you don't like it, you don't agree with it, that's fine. That's your right.
I agree.
But imposing your wishes on other people.
Right.
And I think that's where we are in every aspect.
Now, see, that's something that you just said that I think is very important. You said we were being kids, we were being boys. Mm-hmm. As a mental health professional, how do you find the balance between somebody just, I don't want to say this the wrong way, it's between like healthy, tough love, I guess, from the world or whatever, or that scarring that certain men need to become stronger or better, and just coddling? Like, how do you find that healthy balance, or is it just person to person?
It is. It's individual. Because like some kids, you yell at them, they get it.
Yeah.
And then some, you yell at them, you break their spirit.
Yeah, I agree.
So you have to know your kid, and then balance your parenting style. Don't coddle them to they're so timid that they can't take anything.
Right.
Because it is a mean world out here.
Yeah.
But you don't damage them.
Right.
It's worse if you get out here in the world, toss you around, that's one thing. But if your parent, your caregiver toss you around, that's harder. Yeah. And it actually, as we talk about mental health, it actually is the foundation for trauma, low self-esteem, low sense of self-worth. And then that's when you see people go and pick these people that you're trying to save because you felt like somebody should have saved you. I
get that. So what would you say? Okay, let's say we dropped you back in the 90s and you have the same job. Do you think you have a tougher job or an easier job?
Man, I think it would be easier.
I think so too.
I think it would be easier. As a mental health professional, I think it would be easier because some of what I see now is just too wide. Everything can't go.
Okay.
There has to be some guardrails. There has to be some boundaries.
Right.
And they're so loose. And if the boundaries are too loose,
Mm.
you don't have boundaries at all.
Yeah.
You know,
I
it's
agree.
like building a fence. Everybody needs a fence because you need to protect yourself to a certain degree. But you have a gate.
Right.
But if you get out a gate that's never locked, you really don't have a gate.
Right. Right.
And that's what's
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
that's what's
I
happening.
get that. This part, and for the people that watch, this is gonna be the only podcast I don't cuss on. All right, so I'll be cussing. Hey, I like to give it to them raw, straightforward, and but we can still have a great, amazing conversation like we already having. So, that's a good analogy about the fence. What I say is, I'm like, how do you, like, as a parent, I know I'm not, a healthcare professional, but I do a lot of talking about the psychology of people and how we got to where we're at with indoctrination, how we got to where we're at with social media and stuff like that. For me, I'm like, I think there's a lot of absence when it comes to masculinity in the world today. And what I mean by that is, like, it's okay to say, stop crying and get up. I always thought that way. Like, it's okay to say that to a kid because then they can get it. They'll get used to it. And over time, they'll harden. It's just like if you thump a little kid, they don't cry. But if you thump a 15-year-old, you're like, man, what you doing?
Right.
It takes, you have to live to become stronger and get tougher. Like, and I just think that just prepares them for adulthood. That prepares them for all the things that's going to come at them.
Right.
With social media, you have a bunch of people that's sitting back saying, oh, I want to be the victim so bad. I'm going to attach myself to this. I'm going to attach myself to that. Like, take the word woke, for example. Mm-hmm. Woke used to mean, black people are waking up. They're becoming smarter. They're realizing they're worth more, stuff like that. Now woke means homosexual. It means, anybody want to be a cat. They want to do this. They want to change policies. It's like, how did people hijack a word like that? I don't get it.
It kind of goes back to what we were just talking about with boundaries. Mm-hmm. Everything is loose. It's open. There is no sense of what's acceptable and what's not.
Right. And see, how do you establish what's acceptable? You have to tell the truth about things. You got to shun some things. You got to say, hey, that's stupid. Why are you doing that?
The whole world is not great.
Right.
There are some absolutes. And what's happening also is the absolutes have been taken away. Mm-hmm. And when you take absolutes away, then everybody gets to determine, oh, well, I want to be a cat today.
Mm-hmm. Now, look, why do you think they take absolutes away? That's the question.
We don't have to have an accountability. That's one part of it.
Because it ain't feelings.
And it is. So you were talking about, I was thinking about this as you were saying it. Mm-hmm. You were talking about the masculinity part. Mm-hmm. So that's a deep problem. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to say just in the black community, but that's the community I'm familiar with, right? And what I think, and I could be wrong, and I'll be challenged, and I'm okay. I don't care. None of that bothers me. Right. But what I truly believe, just by watching, is as mothers, single mothers in particular, are either mothers who are not single, but maybe that father is not the kid's father. Mm-hmm. As you navigate that without that male role, then you become that male role sometime. A role you never intended to play.
Can't play well. Right. I was about to say, you're not fully equipped to be in. Yeah.
No. And so then you get this coddling. Mm-hmm. And then you get this softness. So then you kind of got a man child that's, he wants to be a man because he should be a man. But he's kind of soft because he's been kind of raised by his mom, grandma, aunties, and without that male figure who has that bass in the voice. I don't care, I'm old school. You still need that. Right. There is a difference between a woman coming in and saying, hey, you need to pick your clothes up. You need to do this and that. Mm-hmm. And, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And a man come in and say, get that stuff up off the floor.
Exactly. It's completely even with my twins, it's different. Kathy can say something 1,000 times, well, not 1,000, 3, 4 times, and they just, I'm like, hey, that's all I got to say. As soon as they get on it, I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah. But I think it goes back to just basically how things were supposed to be anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the man had a place.
Okay.
Yeah, as women, we should initially not be the primary caregiver, but of course we're going to be to a certain degree the primary caregiver. Yeah. Because they're developing.
Exactly.
And we're teaching them empathy, teaching them tenderness, teaching them how to share, those kind of things. But there does get to be a point where that has to shift in order for you to survive in this world. And like you're saying, become a little more, you know, and sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Right.
That matters a lot. Yeah. You know, if I say, you know, Corey, I don't know, maybe you should do something different. That's tolerable, right? Mm-hmm. You can swallow that.
Right.
But if I say the same thing, but say, well, you just need to be doing something different, Corey, because you that don't taste so good. Yeah. It makes
and for the people that think that's tone, that's not tone. That's just delivery. It's different.
It is.
Because I can say to a woman, I love you. I really love you. Like, and say it stern and she get it. But if I say something that's completely different from what I'm saying, and I can even say it in a softer way, like really, you know, like you're not really my cup of tea. That's nicer to say it. The tone is nicer, but what I'm saying is wrong. That's why I say it's not always tone. It's really more of delivery and how you present what you're saying. But what you just said was real. Like, I see it all the time. And I thank God for my uncles. I thank God for my grandpa, Steve, everybody. Cause I'm like, man, and even being with so many boys, like growing up, like it was only Monica and Tempest for the longest. And Tempest came later. So it was never, to me, it was never an issue of masculinity or whatever. But it was times where I'm just like, after you got older, it's like, yeah, you was too emotional. Like you was acting on your emotions too much. And then I look back at certain things that my mama did and I'm like, yeah, you was probably acting like her. And not to disrespect her or whatever, but you was probably being overly emotional in that moment when you shouldn't have. And things could have been really, really bad. Like you could have died in this situation just because of your emotions. So what I do now, like one of the little dudes that used to be around all the time, he just messaged me like a few days ago and he was like, man, Cole, you was like our hero, dude. Like we used to be talking about you at school and telling people like I can go to his house right now. And I'm thinking like, I'm young too, so I'm not looking at it like that. So I'm just like, all right, whatever. But at the same time, I think being where I'm at now, I got to take some responsibility for how things have transpired because I feel like I kind of failed them in ways. It's like I didn't tell y'all everything that I knew at that time. I wasn't trying to curve y'all. I was just saying, hey, y'all want to make those decisions, then get on somewhere. Like, don't come around me. And I probably shouldn't have did that. I probably should have been like, you know, you can move a different way. You know, you can go a different route in this situation. So we had a deep conversation the other day, and I think I'm going to start shifting and really trying to reach out to them dudes, man. Because some of them dead. Like, some of them locked up, some of them dead, and I feel like I could have helped them in a lot of ways.
I think, you know, a couple of things I want to say. One is that you always kind of march to the beat of a different drum anyway, even as a kid. I'm like, everybody at the house sleep, you the only one woke. I'm like, why is he still up? I
swear to God, Auntie, I swear to God, I just had this convo 2 days ago and I was like, man, I had insomnia really bad. I could never sleep. It was times where I'd be up for like 2-3 days.
You would be the only kid up.
Yeah.
I'd go in there like,
every time. Every time.
So you know, so your being different is not something new.
Yeah.
And that difference develops over time. So even though I know, you at a place, a different level in life where you feel like, man, I should have did this, I should have did that.
Yeah.
But what you did at that time was appropriate at that time. You let them know, I got boundaries. What you doing, I'm not with.
You're right.
And even though some of them may have got it and went a different way, and that's always going to be the case. But that's stuck with somebody.
You know what? I always say, I think certain people have a different appetite for knowledge. And I was always the person that would be like, I don't understand how this works and this bothers me. Like, I don't understand why this is what it is. And I would ask questions. And other people would just be like, I don't care. Like, and just keep going. I'm like, no, maybe you should figure out why. Even if something as simple as being on the block, selling whatever we were selling. I'm going to be real with you. It was times where I'm looking at, like, certain cars keep coming through here every 20 minutes. I'm like, man, they ain't smoked that fast. I'm like, I'm finna leave, man. Yeah. And there was little stuff like that. And I tell people, and they be like, how you know after they get caught?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, leave this fool alone. He gonna tell on you. I'm telling you, he the police. Look how he's scared of everything. Leave him alone. And it's like, nah, that's my dude, and things turn left later, and that's happened so many times. I remember, I shouldn't even say who, but basically somebody that died, I told them to stay away from somebody else because of what I was hearing. And I'm like, stay away from him, man. Like, seriously, like, it's going to be out bad. And I remember I was at the movies one night and Tajay called me. He was like, you heard about, I'm like, what happened? And he was like, they killed him. I'm like, God dang. Yeah. It's stuff like that. Not saying that I'm like some dude to get premonitions or anything like that. It's just when something don't feel right to me, I'll just, and that saved me in ways.
It does.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with going with your gut feeling. Yeah. Sometimes you can meet somebody and you can just be like,
yeah.
I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it.
Auntie, we had that conversation before, and you told me about somebody, and I was like, yeah, you're right. And you didn't know the person like I did, but I'm like, yeah, you're right.
People be moving kind of, it's little stuff too, like inflections and body movements and. No, you ain't for me.
Yeah.
I can tell.
Yeah.
You putting on a good game. I'm dealing with that right now too. And now it's fun.
you know who used to do that a lot. And I used to be like, man, this dude tripping. Grandpa used to talk about I was like, man, what you just talking, Grandpa? Like, and he like, that boy gonna be this, that boy gonna be that. And he ain't gonna be this. He gonna be like his mama, and he gonna be like his grandma. Like, and I be, man, look, he was right about every single person. I'm like, Grandpa.
He said he was right 90 what percent? 95, may have been 99.
Yeah.
At the time.
Yeah. He was right about that, though. I was like, Grandpa, how do you know everything? But,
observing people. And, just kind of, sit back and put like you were talking about the car. No, that's you. Ain't nobody getting high that fast. And if you getting high that fast, you certainly ain't driving well.
Right.
So it's paying attention to that and not dismissing that check that you get in your gut.
Yeah, and it's also like having like a core base of things that's like. You feel in your gut is wrong, like greed, like not having a certain amount of patience. It's like, not just jumping up and going whenever. Like I tell Kanan all the time, he always want to just go. I'm like, son, you can't always go all the time.
Yeah.
When you used to say that with Terrell, I used to be like, she don't want him to go nowhere. But then it's like, I get it. Until I swear, at first I was like, why Teresa can't come, man? Or,
because you get that mindset.
Right.
And actually, you got to start feeding it. And then when you're not, you don't feel productive.
Right. What y'all was trying to do is establish structure.
Yeah.
And now I know that I got a kid, and there's times where like, I'd be like, Kanan, what you need to understand is I have friends that are no longer here because they just wanted to go and hang with everybody. You can't do that. You already, what do you call it? You're already a gentle person. Mm-hmm. You're already somebody that people gonna want to take advantage of. I feel you're gonna be handsome. You're gonna have all these girls trying to take advantage of you. So you gotta instill that in yourself now that, dude, my time ain't for everybody. My presence ain't for everybody. You can't just always go.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. So
I think that in some ways, even though doing that, just doing it without really knowing why you're doing or what you're doing, mm-hmm. there's a shortage of that.
Right.
Like your time, giving somebody your time is a gift.
Right.
And you don't just give everybody a gift. Mm-hmm. You know, and I think that we are, and I say we, and I'm talking about, you know, the Black American or Black mm-hmm. people. Mm-hmm. We are a little too loose with our time.
Right.
And our presence. Mm-hmm. And it just speaks to us not having a true sense of value right. of who we are and what we bring to the table. Yeah. You hear a lot of women talking about, you know, a man, what he brings to the table. Mm-hmm. And most of the time when I hear it, it's always connected with finances.
Every time.
But they can bring more to the table than finances.
Right.
Matter of fact, there are better things to bring to the table than finances.
You know, you sound like Shahrazad Ali right now.
I don't know.
You don't know Shahrazad? You sound, she's somebody that wrote a book back in the 90s. I think it was like 89, 90. And she been preaching this for years. She was like talking about how men provide more than just money. It's like mm-hmm. they provide structure, they provide discipline, they provide all these different things. But for whatever reason, we've been convinced that men are just money. That's it. And in turn, it's created what I call prostitution culture. You look at your time and your body as just money. If he ain't doing this, I ain't doing this. He's like, whoa, wow. And they see nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, it should not be a barter. It shouldn't be a give and take into that. Mm-hmm. Which speaks to why a lot of our relationships are falling down too.
Yeah.
And nobody's perfect. So,
right.
But at the same time, if you decide you want to get into a relationship, you got to look at the whole thing. You know, mm-hmm. what do you bring into the table?
Right.
Because one of the things I talked about with another male was, and I was trying to give him some advice, and I said, I'm going to tell you something what I observed. Mm. The relationship you in is going to struggle. Mm-hmm. I said, I'm going to tell you why it's going to struggle. Because your intellect is not being met. Mm. The money is there. The looks are there. But intellectually, because you got to meet a man's intellect too. You got, you know, vice versa. The mind, absolutely. The conversation.
Absolutely.
I don't care how good you look if you're dumb.
Lord knows.
And we can't have an intelligent conversation.
Lord
we can't
knows.
talk about the budget. We can't talk about discipline. We can't plan a trip. Now, what did you bring to the table?
Exactly. And that, I can speak to that because I've dated beautiful dummies. And I'd be like, man, like,
that's a job.
I didn't know. And with social media, you see somebody online or whatever, and you thinking they this, they that, and then you meet them. It's like, dang, you really a bonehead, right? You really an airhead, and that's crazy because you look good, man. And it'll completely shift the way you look at somebody. Yeah. And a lot of times they be reflections of previous dudes. Like they mentality when it comes to relationships is like, oh, this was what my last dude was on, so this is all I got to do, and I'm just not like that. Nope, I'm cool.
Well, you can't forget yourself no matter what relationship you're in, mm-hmm. because even though you know when you get married, the thought pattern is to become one. Mm-hmm. So you become interdependent. Mm-hmm. And you do have to lose a little bit of dependence. Yeah. You know, being so independent. But interdependence is us and me.
Oh, dang. That's a bar.
You know?
That's a bar.
I still care about me.
Yeah.
And I'm still valuable.
Right.
And we are too. Right. But I'm not going to forget me.
That's the yin and yang.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the way yin and yang is formed is just simply me here. But I still got a little bit of you that's in me, but I'm still me
But I'm-
intertwined with you.
But I think a lot of people lose that.
Yeah.
They lose themselves in a relationship. Then they get mad, like, I gave this relationship everything.
But what was the person wanting in the beginning? You. So why are you losing you? And that's what they want.
Because there's also this outer world that tells us what relationships really want. Because kids don't. Yeah. We buy kids a lot of things, but what they really want is you.
Right.
Your attention, your time.
Right.
Your validation. And that's every relationship.
That's true.
But the world says, the outer, the voices, them and they, say, well, the kid gotta have this, gotta have these clothes, gotta have these kind of shoes. The woman need a diamond ring. There ain't nothing wrong with a diamond ring. But I'm saying, there's this behind us talk all around us that's telling us that that's not enough.
Right.
And it pushes materialism.
Right. I was going to ask this question, but I think you kind of answered it. I was going to ask, what's the key to a long marriage? How long you been married?
20, 35. Let me see.
Well, y'all met way before
35 years.
Yeah, okay. So technically longer because y'all met before we was born.
Yeah,
so.
we've been together for since 82.
82, so 44 years.
Yeah.
Dang, that's so.
It is. It's a long time. We were kids. We grew up. So, so good question, because with growing up together, you're gonna have hard times.
And people change over time too.
And people change over time. Yeah. And to be honest with you, you just got to decide what you can put up with, what you are willing to put up with. And that's on both sides of the aisle.
Right.
And then as things develop, what I found on a personal level is the initial attraction is always superficial. It's romantic in nature.
Yeah.
It takes years to mature to that place where you're just good.
Yeah.
Go. Can you go visit somebody, that you ain't seen in a long time?
Yeah.
Because I remember going through periods of extreme jealousy. Didn't really have anything to do with him. It had a lot to do with who me.
Hold on. What you just said is super important. A lot of times jealousy don't be the other person. It just be what you think and about yourself or how you feel about yourself. And it's your own insecurity. So that's important.
It is. I mean, and you just have to face that.
Yeah.
And the other thing is this, you gotta come to the conclusion in your own life, like, you know what? I love this person and I believe they love me, but I love me enough that if they do something I don't like and I decide that I'm not going to put up with that, I'm going to be good with not being in that relationship no more. Yeah. That take a level of maturity on your part. Yeah. You can't change anybody else. Right. It's up to you, what you just accept, what you, feel like you can, okay, you know what? That's some murky water right there, but I think we can manage this. Yeah. Because you have to sit down, to me, you have to really sit down and say, look at your pros and cons. Do I value this relationship enough to do whatever it's going to take for it to survive? And then do we, because then it's become it's not just what part I have to play, but then having that conversation, listen, this is where we are. And what are you willing to do to make this look better or be better? Right. And I think a lot of times what's wrong with us as a people, we don't like to have those hard conversations because it's easier to blame somebody. Well, I would have never did that if you. That's not all. That's really not true stuff. Yeah, that's some lying right there. That's some serious. Yeah, it is. Nobody can make you do something. Right. Every person, your response is your responsibility. Your reaction is what you choose.
Well, man, that applies to so many things. You know what I mean? Tom, I hear people justify things that just don't make a whole lot of sense. It's like, okay, I don't even want to get into that.
Well, you know what it is? I'm going to tell you really quick what it is. It's emotional immaturity.
Facts.
That's the baseline.
Facts. Yeah.
Because when you are emotionally immature and dysregulated, then you playing off your emotions. Everything is is an emotional response.
Right. And that to me is like what's the root cause of a lot of these murders, a lot of this stuff going on out here, and it's all my emotions.
It's like, number one is a lot of things. One of the things I do with I have a lot of male students. Mm-hmm. The number one thing I do with them is conflict triggers. Mm. The number one trigger, disrespect. Mm-hmm. More people have died because of disrespect. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I check it with them every time. It's a little, 4 or 5 page assessment I do. Disrespect. My conclusion is this. You get disrespected at school. You really can't do too much. You're at school, right? Right. You get disrespected at home sometimes. You really can't do too much because you might get a whooping. Mm-hmm. You at home. But when you get out on the street, you disrespect me. I've been disrespected so much, but I can do something to you. Right. Right. And that's a double-edged sword. Because I look at it, I say, it took me, I wouldn't say I was grown when I was 21 or when I was 22. I didn't feel like I was grown until I was like 25, 26, something like that. Because I was like, it's certain things that I do that's still like childlike. And I'm still learning. I mean, everybody's still learning. But like, for example, let me find a good example. There was times where I'd jump out the window and fight somebody just because of, I guess, principle, pride, whatever. And some of that stuff is part of manhood to a certain extent, but then it's like, it could have went way, way left. And I'm like, man, I got to think about Kathy. I got to think about my kid now, stuff like that. And it just made me think completely different. And I had this conversation with this African guy one time, and he was like, why do blacks get so mad about white people saying things like colored or nigger? I was like, cause you supposed to. Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm looking at him like, what's wrong with you? He was like, we don't care about that. Like, it's not a big deal over there. It's like, why do we? I'm like, I think it's just our history and things we pass down, but we also pass down trauma. Yeah. Like, we don't even have to go through it or experience it. We could have watched Roots or something, and we automatically want to kill something. But at the end of the day, I watch people, I done been to county jail, and I watched these little dudes crying and getting punked and all that. Like, I'm like, but you were so tough on the streets. You don't think logically, like, maybe I shouldn't put myself in this situation? No, because one of the important things that you said was that even though you were 21, 22, you didn't consider yourself being an adult till you're like 25. Yeah. So, scientifically, the male brain does not become the prefrontal lobe does not develop until, So you were right on point. So when you see these kids under that age doing stuff, they ain't grown yet. Yeah, that's real. That's real. And it was certain things like that where I just had to, I think, going through some things, but it's also like just seeing how I said I have no control over what goes on around me or whatever unless I remove myself from that situation. Yeah. So focus on what you can control, and what I can control is myself. Mm-hmm. That's why when it comes to like race or whatever, I look at it and say, why are you giving them power over you? Mm-hmm. Like, when people say, oh, you're a victim. Yeah, I am a victim. Every black person in this country is a victim, even if they don't know it. It's like with redlining to whatever they did to whoever our parents were and the way they keep us from getting loans and stuff like that. It's a bunch of little barriers that other races don't face. So to call me a victim, I'm like, all right, so what? But I'm not going to just sit around and bask in being a victim. Yeah. I'm going to do something about it, because other than that, I'm just wasting time. We don't get time back. No, you don't. And one of the reasons I was thinking a little bit as you were talking about people being angry, so angry, and the trauma. Mm-hmm. Part of the trauma is still going. Mm-hmm. It's not like it ended. Right. It never ends. Right. And so how do you heal when you're trapped in a systemic response per se. You know, you're responding to systemic racism, systemic things that are in place to marginalize you, make it harder for you to succeed.
Yeah.
And the trauma is ongoing, you know?
Yeah.
And so, where some people, you know, pull themselves up by their bootstraps and make it out of it to a certain degree. I don't know if that ever happens when you're Black, no matter how successful you are.
Yeah, because you got to do more than that.
Yeah, you're still subject to the racism.
Right.
You're still subject to, you know, even with LeBron James having his house vandalized.
Yep.
He's somebody, per se, quote,
right,
that's got money and a level of success.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 10 years later, we still, not we, but some of us still hating on Obama.
Mm-hmm.
So you never get to outlive it. You never get to it never stops.
Right, right.
You know?
It doesn't. And that's why I say it's almost like being in a jungle. You can't just pretend like you sitting at home in the lap of luxury. You can't pretend you at some penthouse in New York. You're in the jungle. So you got to adapt to the jungle. Mm-hmm. That's the way I look at being Black. It's like,
kill or be killed.
I got almost the same struggles as every white man, plus these extra added struggles. So what I got to do, I got to go hit the weights harder if I want to lift all that. I got to be better. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. And the best way to deal with it is to teach your kids, hey, you got to be better than them in every aspect. Yeah. And you got to be able to step outside of yourself and look at your community as something that's not going to just be like, oh yeah, we're going to come save you from everything or whatever. So you got to prepare them for that type of stuff. You can't tell them like, hey, you'll never be nothing because it's so hard against us. So just enjoy today and don't worry about tomorrow. Because
then that becomes a victim mentality.
Right.
And that's what you differentiated from.
Right.
Yeah, we are victims. We have definitely been.
Exactly.
We have definitely been victimized ongoing. Mm-hmm. But you don't have to have that victim mentality. Exactly. Woe is me. They won't let me. Mm-hmm. You know, when I went to school, kind of funny. I went to nursing school because I worked as a secretary. And one day a lady in the office was crying. She was in her 50s. And I was like, is there anything I can do? You know what? She said, no, this is my first job. And she's working as a day child care provider. She said, it's my first. Now listen, I'm working as a secretary. My pay is $3.50 an hour. This is her first job. She's in her 50s. She said, my husband left me for a younger woman. But I got you talking to that lady. I called CMO. I said, let me enroll in school.
Yeah.
So I take care of myself. Yeah. So I said that to say this. You don't have to have that victim mentality. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the struggle is going to be real. I was the only Black person in my nursing class. I was the only Black person, female and person in a lot of spaces. Mm-hmm. But I didn't give up. Because you have to, at some point, you have to be a fighter.
And also, you didn't let your situation define you. You was like, okay, well, I got to be better than my predecessor. And to me, I look at that and I say, that's basically a gift to them because as a parent, I'm like, I want my son to be better than me. I want him to reach for the stars. But for whatever reason, a lot of people in our community, they don't think that way. They just like, well, they fine. They ain't dead. They good. It's like, no.
Not if you're not reaching beyond. I mean, there's a baseline, but then strive for more. Always strive. Right. Which is one of the reasons why I always go back to school. I don't need to go back to school. I'm probably going to go back to school just because why not?
Right.
Why not?
Right. You only get one life. You might as well.
Hey, we tell people you can be anything you want to be, and then we don't show them that they can be anything that they want to be because we don't do but one thing.
Facts.
For some people, that's awesome. That's wonderful. That's going to be the highest level that they're going to attain. But for a lot of us, we can do better.
Yeah.
But it's work.
Yeah.
And sometimes the cheerleaders are not going to be your family.
Boy, you better say that.
You were talking about your circle of influence and your circle of control. That's something we just got to just be honest about. You cannot control other people outside of your circle.
Right.
And if you've been the rescuer in your family, fire yourself.
Yeah.
They have to learn to rescue themselves.
That's so hard. You're right, but that's so hard because when I look at history and I look at any time Black people have flourished and grown and did amazing things, they never did it by themselves. So it was always unity. It was always our ability to be like, okay, this white man don't deal with this white man. They don't deal with this white man or whatever. But they can do that and get away with it. Yeah. We, from where we're at, we can't do that. We got to work together to get somewhere. And we lost that with integration. We lost that with losing all our leaders at an inopportune time. It was a lot that went really, really left, and it was almost like it was orchestrated for us to be in this predicament. Because right after that, they come in with crack. Right after that, they come with 3 strikes and crime. All of that stuff, and it's like, man, at what point I'm talking to mostly the men, at what point as men do we say, you not my enemy? You're not my enemy. Like, we're going to work together and build something. It don't only have to be white people versus Black people or whatever. It just has to be something that helps Black people in general. Yeah. Whoever wants to help. But we have to start thinking differently. That's just my thing.
And you're right. And I think that happens when we admit that we don't trust each other.
Yeah.
It's not because of, sometimes it's because, things have happened, but I had this little conversation with some pastors here in the church, in the community. And they were, there was some talk about, well, we all need to start trying to get together and blah, blah, blah. Now, I say what people need to go on and say. Hey, I'm a woman pastor. I'm already I already got minus by my name. What else can I lose? And that was my main comment. I said, we cannot get together until we be honest about the fact that we don't trust each other.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And with the church, and I'm going to suggest, somebody ain't going to like it. That's fine. But with the church, the lack of trust comes from because your member visited my church and now your member want to be a part of my church. But these are things that, it's a root problem from having things taken away.
That's true.
And if you always have stuff taken away from you, and that's what we've suffered, then if I don't join you, I don't have a chance of losing nothing. And so now it's easier for me to just hold on to what I got than to trust you.
Ain't that crazy?
And that's where we are. So men need to get together and say, you know what? I don't know how to trust you because I've trusted people and it hasn't gone well. Tell me what can be different. How can we make this different?
Now, see, what I think is we need to get to a fundamental understanding of how we got to react with each other. Like I was telling Teresa and Jamala this like a few weeks ago. I'm like, you know why we don't meet and have these conversations? Because it's always one of y'all saying, I'm going to show up and I don't show up. Why don't we start keeping our word? Why don't we start there? Like, it don't even have to be no money. You can just stand on your word. Even if you say, I don't feel like it for whatever reason. I'm the type of person, if I don't feel like it, I said I'm going to show up, I'm going to show up. Yeah. If I don't show up, I could not have made it for whatever reason. Like I might be out of town and forgot about it or something. I'm still going to make up for that because my word matters as a man, as a person. I can't stand wasting people's time. Once I realize time is the most expensive thing you can have, you can't get that back. There's people that's 90 years old that's worth billions of dollars. They will give it all up for another 30, 40 years of living. But you can't, So I can't stand that type of stuff. To me, it's like if I reach out and say, hey, I can get you a job here. And you just like, well, I'm going to blow that nigga off. you making me look bad to people I'm trying to elevate with. Or if I say, I'm doing this over here, can you help me build what I'm trying to build, and then I can come back and get you straight. I don't think that way. That's why I'm sorry, I'm going on a diatribe right now, but I told Jeremiah this before. I'm like, dude, I want to come work for you for free. And the reason why is because I see what you're doing, and I think what you're doing is so important to other black people, other people that see you or that come up, and you giving these people jobs, you doing all this stuff. When was the last time somebody did something for you?
Right. So
I'm like, I'll just come work for you for free. And it was like several days I went work for him because I'm like, no, cuz why not?
Yeah.
I'm free.
The problem is, one of the problems with what you're saying is that requires integrity. And everybody don't have it.
Right.
Integrity says, I'm going to do what's right when ain't nobody watching.
Right. And
you can't teach it. You have to want to be disciplined. You have to, my word for this year is being intentional. And if you're not intentional about life and the choices you make and the words you say, you're wasting time. And you're spinning in a hole. You have to be intentional. If you plan on being successful at all, you have to plan. There's something else. Like you got your pad. I keep 5, 6, 10 pens in my purse and usually a notebook. Because I never know when an idea may come. I never know when I might see something worth. I need to write it down. Thought make, you know what I'm saying? Somebody may say something. I want to capture that thought. How and it's another part of too our community. I don't want to be like stereotypical. There is a lack of true reflection.
We hate the mirror. I say it all the time. We can't stand a mirror. Like you hold up a mirror to somebody like, hey, that's you. Nah, it ain't. Like, really?
But you can't get better without acknowledging your shortcomings.
There you go.
And realize that you're not, we all are flawed. But there's always room for improvement.
Right.
Improve the area you can. Don't try to fix it. I mean, you're not going to have an extreme makeover.
Right.
Because the improvement is an internal.
Right.
Because otherwise it's superficial and it won't last.
Right. And then a lot of times people would take your growth and how you feel about yourself. Oh, you arrogant. No, I just know that I look in the mirror every day and I'm my toughest critic, and I'm willing to do the work. I know the work I've done. It's so many things I got to work on T. I'm like, I be sitting back thinking like, man, am I too harsh? Am I too straightforward with people? Am I off-putting? Like, do I intimidate people? How can I be better at that? I try to work at that stuff all the time.
I think that, and I say that a lot because I think a lot. I think about stuff a lot. So, first of all, being confident is not being arrogant.
That's what I thought.
If you know what you know, you just know what you know.
That's what I thought. I'm like, why y'all
apologize for knowing what you know?
Right. Keep burping.
Everybody who excels in an area should hold their head up and share their knowledge.
Right.
The I think about it like this. Whatever you're doing out there, you're going to have some to receive it. You're going to have some that's not going to receive it. You're not responsible for that part. Right. But you do carry a responsibility for sharing it.
Right.
When you are knowledgeable in areas and you don't share, that's a failure on your part. Because you should.
Right.
So I'm working with a young man now, and he just turned 20. And we, of course we're counseling, but counseling embraces a lot of stuff. And I don't think people realize that we are working on finances. That's not initially what he came for, but that's part of what we're working on because we are at that point. He didn't know about saving. He didn't know about putting his money in a high yield interest account. There were some different nuances that I do know about. I'm like, this I know. Let me give this to you. Let me give you a step up. Now I'm gonna give it to you. What you do with? But he took it and he turned around. You know, next time we met, he's like, "Oh, I got some good news. I did this. I did that." He applied it.
Yeah.
Right. That's somebody who wanted that seed.
Yeah.
It's unfair of me not to give it. And I've seen that a lot. I mean, I've had that happen. When people don't know, that's one thing. But when you know, share.
Facts.
Share.
Facts.
Don't say, well, you'll learn. I hate to hear people say that. You'll figure it out. You know, I remember going on a job and I was like, somebody was like, you gonna be working for so and so? I said, yeah. I said, what? Come on, tell me what.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at your face. You'll find out.
Yeah, why don't you?
I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like that
no.
either.
At least say, this was my experience.
Right.
Hopefully they've changed.
So I know what to look for. Yeah.
Give me a head up. You know, I want no head up. It's a bad experience too at the end of the day. You could have spared me that.
Right.
Don't act, you ain't the author of my lessons.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like.
Well, black people, we'll go a step further. If you trying to do something great or whatever, I seen your little, whatever you had going on. I seen this little thing. I'm like, let's say you trying to open a restaurant. I was going to come check out your little restaurant. I'm like, dang, why y'all like this? Why do we automatically throw negativity at our own stuff, at our own victors? You know? I
don't know. You know, it's the same mentality that you borrow $200 from me, but then when I say, you know, give me, you know, you got my $200. I'm gonna give you a little money.
Right.
It wasn't little when you borrowed it.
Man, I swear to God, Auntie, you sound like Shahrazad Ali. I swear to God. For the people that don't know, hold on. I usually be able to turn around and look at it. Well, yeah. For people that don't know, Shahrazad Ali, I swear, Auntie, your voice sound like everything. It's funny. You got the same.
I like real people. I mean, you know, and I try to be a real person, and that's not always palatable. No, some people don't like the taste of that because it hits you where you need to be hit. You know what I call it? Medicine. Medicine don't taste good. But it's good for you. It is. You need it. It'll heal you where you need to be hit. Right. And so reflection is huge, and people don't like to reflect. They like to deflect, make excuses, blame other people, gaslight people, manipulate, you know, and at the end of the day, sooner or later, you're going to have to come to terms with who you are. Yeah, that's real. And that's one of the main things I think that I'm not a fan of social media. I use it because I want to balance out what's going on. That's why everybody like, why you always on this? Why you always on trying to be militant and saying that? I'm like, cause there's so much garbage out here. There's so much sugar out here. Y'all need some medicine. Y'all need some vegetables. You need something that you don't really want to eat right now. You need that because everybody else is just telling you whatever you want to hear. Yeah. I see it all the time, and that's one of the issues when it comes to relationships too. You got, let's say a woman is, I don't know, she 300 pounds, probably ugly without makeup. Let's be real. She probably got 5 kids by 3 different dudes. She probably on Section 8, ain't got nothing going for her, probably dumb as a brick. But all she got to do is find the right filter, find the right angle, throw on some makeup, a wig, and she gonna get her DMs flooded with dudes that want to hit. But to her, she like, I got options. I got this, I got that. But you had a dude that loved you, that cared about you, that accepted all your flaws, but you want to go out there for sex. Cause you think in your mind, you think you got all these options, all these opportunities. That's why you keep piling up baby daddy after baby daddy after. I've seen it happen 1,000 times on TV. It just speaks to a deeper problem. What's that? That self-image, the value. You know, you don't value yourself when you lower your standards like that. Yeah. And you have to ask yourself, why am I settling? Yeah. Sometimes it's better to be by yourself and find out who you are than to jump in from one relationship to another.
Yeah.
You know, and that's men and women alike.
Right. Right.
You know, I've seen some men to be like, why don't you just chill for a minute? Just find you.
And that goes into comfort too.
Complacency.
Yeah. Better word.
Yeah.
I call it like when it comes to like comfort eating. You know it's bad for you, but you still do it because it's comfortable and it's going to satisfy you for good. Right now.
And
yeah.
It's what it's a habit at this point, you know. I see people, I've stopped myself from eating on habit, you know, just on automatic.
Yeah.
You do not just open a chip bag and hang out in it. Pour your chips in the bowl so you can have some level of control.
Right.
You know, and some people are living on autopilot like that.
That's where it starts.
Yeah.
I felt so, I stepped on the scale one time. I felt so like, man, I had let myself go to the point where I'm like, do I have a problem? Do I have eating issues? And I realized I did because I would just be up all night eating. And then I said, man, I got to prove something to myself. So I went on a 5-day fast, nothing but water and tea. And after I was done, I was like, I guess I don't have that much of a problem. I'm going to figure this out one way or the other. If I can do that, then I can diet better. I can hit the gym. I can do it. So I've been losing a little bit of weight.
But key phrase that you said, I have. You took accountability. You didn't say, oh, well, ever since we had these kids. You know,
that's the biggest issue, accountability and excuses that people make.
Yeah. And that's also what keeps you stagnant.
Yep.
Trying to find somebody or something to point your finger at, you know, instead of saying, what can I do?
Man.
Because it's on you at that point.
So let's shift gears a little bit. How did you find your faith? Like, do you remember the defining moment?
I came to the end of myself.
Okay.
What do I mean by that? I went to school. I went to trade school, learned how to do secretarial work, got a job because the teacher knew somebody and, you know, hooked me up with a job. Good job, paid good for the, time I was living in. Nice place to live, everything going great, but empty. Like, there's got to be more to life than this.
Like someone's missing.
Yeah. Like a whole, I felt like I was looking for something, but I didn't know what I was looking for. Something to, like, a purpose. You know? And so I went to church on invitation and kind of strange, but so you gotta, like me, I've always been a person who felt like I could do whatever. I can do it the best. I mean, whatever. I'm doing it the best. I'm top of my game. And so going to church that night and I was sitting there and I'm like, man, I'm so ready to leave this place. Cause you gotta know, I was like wanting to go back home and drink my E&J. I was not trying to be in church, but because I had said I would go, I went. So I'm sitting there, and I'm kind of grumbling to myself. But then I heard something, and the man was like, God so loved the world, he gave his only son, and he died on the cross. And I'm like, it kind of like, there ain't nothing I would do. And so for a person who, my mindset was like, I do the best. I mean, I take it to the hill, to the top. But I can't do that. That broke me. Like, man, somebody did something I ain't thinking about doing. I ain't about to give up my son, And so that just hit me. And I felt like, man, that's a huge sacrifice for me. And so that was that from that point.
And see, that mindset, I can relate to that because it's like, at one point, I was like, I need to stop comparing myself to people that's here or here. Like, I want to compare myself here, then maybe I'll land somewhere in the middle. That was always my mindset. Like, I remember one time and this is a different situation, but I was struggling to learn how to swim. I couldn't swim. Man, I saw this little 3-year-old girl jump off the diving board. I was like, get that, I'm jumping. And I jumped in and I just figured it out. Cause I'm like, ain't no way. No 3-year-old for the jump. And I was like 11 years old, and I figured it out. But that's good. That's a good way to look at things. Like, I stepped out of who I was to be able to check myself and look at something somebody else did. Like, wow, like, why and how did you get to the point where you did that? Like, you don't know this, but people always say, like, why you never get stage fright. You don't get scared to be in front of the camera. You don't get scared to do podcasts. And what I was saying before we started, I just switch it. Like, I got so over the anxiety or the nervousness that it almost made me want to throw up. So I'm like, nah, switch it. Like, just turn it on, whatever. And I do that when I get on stage. I do that before a video shoot, whatever it is. You know where it started? You.
Really?
Yeah. At church. And you had me say something for Easter. It was like I think it was the 23rd song. I'm
a Easter speech. I got pictures of y'all.
And that was at a time where I remember I had scraped my forehead on the ground on the swing, and I had like a scar up here. And I remember thinking like, yeah, I ain't ready for this. And I'm like, nah, you got to do this. And then even back then, I was like 7, 8 years old. And I went up there and I said it. And I was just like, I like the way this feels, you know, doing the right thing. And even with school presentations, all of that. People used to make me mad. Like, you going to take an F instead of going up there and just talking. Like, all you got to do is turn it off and just go talk, you know. So, and I be thinking that too when you up there preaching. I'm like, Auntie just comfortable up there. Like,
I'm just to it.
Yeah.
Like, this is me. This is what I'm supposed to be. And ironically, I was just looking up my name this morning, right? I'm again always reading something, always reflecting in some shape, form, or fashion. Always trying to evolve to a better me. Always, no matter what anybody else is saying, I'm challenging me.
Right.
So I'm looking up my name. My name now, the ironic part is, it's so many ironies in this. But, so when I was born, of course, my dad was already married. That's a taboo, you know. Gotcha. So I was born to, my mom wasn't married to him. He had a wife and kids. She was going to name me Melissa, but he couldn't pronounce Melissa. So he named it, right. I'm thinking to myself, but you know what? Teresa means harvester.
Okay.
Reaper.
Okay. Nice.
And reaper and harvester is somebody who goes out and they plant and they gather what's been planted. So it was, even though he didn't know it, he spoke prophetically into my life for where I am now.
That's dope.
So I speak, you know, whatever words I'm given to speak, and that plants. And then as I continue to speak, then that draws people in.
So you
and
find purpose in your words.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, he accidentally, you know, spoke life into me, even though, but it also says that this, because I'm up and I'm writing this, I'm looking at all this. It also says this: no matter how your beginning is, whether it's like me being a child of a married man, that doesn't change your purpose,
right? And
you don't have to allow that to define your worth. Right. And I struggled with that for a long time. Not being a church kid, I didn't go to church. Ironically, I just taught myself. I just had a mind to learn the Lord's Prayer, and so I just taught it to myself. But we were not a church family. We're not a church-going family. And yet, here I am.
Right.
And so, you know.
That's a journey there.
Yeah, it really is. Because odds would not have it to be so. Most people that preach or whatever, they came from that kind of family, right? And even my being here, although my relationship with your uncle was what brought me here, I feel like it was God's will to cultivate me through your grandmother. Because that was my mentor as far as how to live a Christian life, how to treat people, how to forgive, how to move on in spite of controversy, chaos, what have you.
She did that to a lot of people. Yeah.
And I watched it, and I watched her do it and keep her faith and stay faithful and not backslide. And you can't see that. You don't hardly see that anymore. And so part of, I think he was a catalyst for the move, of course, but the goal was to be mentored.
Yeah. And see, y'all hear what she just said? That's the reason why I be so hard on women, man, because like that's the woman that I saw and I was like, man, she's incredible. Wasn't rich and have a lot of money and have a whole lot of education, man, but she was a beautiful soul. I love that woman to death. Greatest person I ever met.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she set the standard for exhibiting Christianity, what being a true Christian looked like, not in word but in deed. Yeah, in the level of compassion and her giving spirit, the level of wisdom that she had, and and so just sitting there under that for years. And I was laughing the other day, and I was talking to this lady, and I was telling her that something about my sister-in-law. And I said, and you know what? I don't get these people that hate their mother-in-law. I said, because me and my mother-in-law are best friends. I don't get that.
You said that several times. I heard you say that before.
I don't get that.
Yeah.
Because why would you hate his mother? Why would you hate his mother? Yeah. That's who he came from. Yeah. I remember many nights, our main thing was we would go to church on Bible study, and we would leave. And this is a time when Burger King had Whoppers for 99 cents on Wednesday nights. I wish. So we leaving Bible study, we going straight to Burger King. And we're going to sit out in the car in front of her house another hour, eat our burger, and talk some more. Yeah. And that was our relationship. Yeah. No matter what would have or could have happened between me and him, we would have always had that.
You want to know what's crazy? As a kid growing up, and this is going to sound so wild to you, but as a kid growing up, I used to think, like earlier, I used to think you was grandma's daughter. It didn't hit me that Kenny was, because the way Kenny would talk to grandma, I used to be like, well, when I grow up, I'm going to whoop you, nigga. Like, that's the way I used to think. But I always thought that you was her daughter.
If y'all would have known how I let him have it, when he would do that. Oh man, we got in that car. Yeah, I let him have it. I would. He used to be yelling at. Oh, he was rough on her. Yeah. I'm like, I wouldn't say nothing in front of him. I'm trying to, but man, we get in that car. I let him have it. Give him his rights. Never talk to her like that.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
She said, "You're the only one that can do something with him."
Yeah.
Because you got the right one.
Yeah. So I mean, that's dope though. Like y'all relationship, I always thought that was dope. It was so many mornings I'd come out and you on the porch talking to grandma. So many mornings. So it just never. Up until I was probably like 5 years old, I thought you was her daughter.
Those other people said, that's your mama, right? I'm like, no, she's not. And funny story, but true story. I told her one time, I felt like really weird because like Greg was dating somebody and a couple of people, different people, and like they called her mama, And so one day I was like, I talked to her, I said, I feel bad because I really love you, but I don't call you mama. Right. She said, baby, don't feel bad because everybody who called me mama, they gone.
Hey, grandma crazy.
I said, okay. Yeah. You're going to be lean.
Lean, yeah.
And I thought about that. She's like, they call me mama.
Who else? Where'd you get lean from? Did other people call her that?
Yeah. Okay. I heard somebody else call her lean.
Yeah. So. Okay. Because I think you was the only person that I heard call her that.
I think I was.
That's crazy.
But yeah, she made me know that wasn't where it was at. Calling me mama. And they gone. They ain't around no more.
Yeah. So, one thing I really wish Kanan could have met her, man. I swear. And like she would love Kanan so much.
Yeah.
I wish she would have met her.
And she was a different kind of grandmother too. Mm-hmm. And I say that because what I mean by that is grandma was gonna, and that's how grandma did so that with the kid. Mm-hmm. Grandma gonna watch you, but grandma ain't finna do all this entertaining. Mm-hmm. But she gonna make sure you eat. and you stay in line.
Right.
And grandmas now have a kind of different kind of role that they play. They gotta, I mean, you gotta be on the floor rolling around. You gotta entertain.
They don't know they grandmas.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They don't know they.
Yeah.
They don't even want to be called grandma.
Right. Well, yeah.
I ain't your grandma. Call me something else. Something
Yeah.
else. I'm like, y'all don't like being grandmas.
No.
That's crazy.
But yeah, that was. I think about that now, and I was babysitting somebody, and it was like, "Oh, did you whatever?" I said, "I'm gonna tell you something. I did just like my mother-in-law used to do. I was here.
Yeah.
I made sure they were taken care of and fed. But the entertaining, no, you gotta do your own entertaining.
Yeah.
I let you watch some on TV because I remember her doing all that, and now, and not just now, but over the years, I just kind of all this knowledge and all this wisdom that she imparted to me.
That's dope. That's a blessing, man. Rest in peace, Grandma. I miss Grandma a lot. That's crazy. Speaking of that, the state of how women are now, I don't want to say women, let's say the youth now. What's something as a mental health professional and a minister, like if you could impart one thing on somebody, like one piece of advice, what would it be to the youth?
I don't even know how to word it because I think what I see, I would impart it to the adults. Validate your child. Validate your child.
Yeah.
Don't, I don't know how to feel about everybody get a trophy. I just didn't grow up in that era. I think the winners get a trophy. The losers lose.
Right.
Learn how to lose gracefully.
Yeah.
But validate your child. When they do something good, don't ask them how was school. You know what they're going to say? Good. Mm-hmm. Ask them, what did you learn in school today? Mm-hmm. That's a conversation.
Yeah.
And that says, I care. I want to know what happened with you today. I want to know what your day was like.
I'm going to take that in.
And stop. So, because it begins with us as adults. Mm-hmm. Stop telling them when the light's about to be turned off. Mm-hmm. Stop telling them when you don't have money for food. They don't need that adult responsibility. Yeah. I see kids that in counseling that know too much.
Yeah, facts.
They got more stress about bills not being paid than I do.
Boy, if that ain't the truth.
So as adults, be adults. We were poor. I didn't know we were poor. Mm-hmm. We always had food. We always had lights. We may have had threats. I didn't know we had threats, but we might have. We probably did, Right. But that's not a kid's information. Stop being friends with your kids. They don't need your friendship. They need your guidance. They need your validate them mm-hmm. and tell them that they are. And it's simple. You don't have to say everything like, "Oh, you're great," when you know they ain't great. So you know what? You're doing the best you can. Mm-hmm. How can we work on being better? Right. Make it part of your responsibility because it is to help them be better.
Man, that's so real.
It's parenting. Parenting, it's a verb. It's an action word. It's not a noun that don't describe you. It's something you do.
Right. I used to be friends with this young lady that used to sit her son in front of a TV and he had two options, Grinch or Toy Story every day. This boy was like 4, didn't know no colors. He didn't know no numbers. He didn't know anything. All he knew was what he wanted to eat and Grinch and Toy Story. I'm like, man, do you realize you can easily throw on YouTube and throw on a Sesame Street episode? Yeah. Do you realize you can just go get some flashcards and go over it with them? Like, all this time you spending on putting on your makeup or whatever or trying out this video and doing, like, work with them. You can do something with them. And just by me saying that, she was so offended. She was so mad. I'm like, but you don't see a problem in the fact that your 4-year-old can't speak. You don't see a problem with that. And I'm wrong for saying that. Like, well, everybody can't be Canaan. I'm not saying everybody has to be Canaan. What I'm saying is a 4-year-old should be able to speak better than this.
That's basic foundation.
Right. So I think we have to, again, go back to being able to take in information, look in the mirror, check yourself, and that's how things become better. Everybody's so focused on my personal happiness and how I feel, blah, blah. But what about your kids that you're raising? You're just continuing the cycle. You're letting indoctrination raise your kids.
We took self-care to a new level. Self-care has now become like selfish.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to care about yourself. And I know, I keep saying this. I know somebody ain't gonna like what I'm saying, but I know what I'm saying because I see it all the time.
Right.
You're supposed to take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that's lost is when you become a parent, it is no longer about you.
Facts.
If you want to stay self-centered, where you just focus on you and that's all you got, don't become a parent.
Right.
Become a parent when you are really ready to sacrifice. Number one, sacrifice. You're going to sacrifice your time.
Yeah.
You're going to sacrifice your money.
Yeah.
You're going to have to decide between, am I going to go to this party or am I going to be home because I don't have a reliable babysitter that I trust?
Right.
Not, well, they'll probably be all right. And you know fully well in your gut that you're going to leave them with some bad characters.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's sacrifice.
And you don't even care. As long as you get out there and you get the validation you want from these guys or women, you don't care about your kids. And that's crazy to me.
And that go for men too. Before women don't get pregnant by themselves. If a woman's saying, well, I'm using birth control, I don't believe in birth control, then it is up to you to say, you know what, I don't want to be no dad. So I'm gonna use precaution to not become a father. Yeah. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I ain't about to be no good father because I ain't ready for that. And if a man tell you that, you should say, you know what, thank you. Exactly. I appreciate that.
Exactly.
Because having a baby don't make a man a father.
Facts.
Sometimes it make him like, you trying to trap me, and I don't like that. Yeah. And so you and your kid good. Yeah. And that's hard to hear and that's hard to accept, but it's true. Yeah. It just is.
That's definitely the reality of things, and that's how a lot of things turn bad for kids starting off. Like just your parents don't even know each other. How they gonna coexist to raise a kid when they don't even know each other? You don't even know the history of whatever diseases might be in their family, or you don't know anything about this person. That's why I always think they're so wild the way people move sometimes.
Yeah, because you need to check the tree and see what kind of previous fruit was bore off that tree. Right. And so that you know what you're kind of getting into.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah. So my it would be to the parents because that's where it starts. It starts with the adults.
I always say that. That's why when I have the same mentality as what I heard from Malcolm X. When he was talking to his wife, he said, I'm a hard man on the women. And she said, why? He said, because a woman is the first teacher of the child. She's the most influential of the child when it comes to aiming where a child is going to be. That's the first 5 years of life. And he was just like, I've seen how, as he said, the enemy would use our women against us, use our women, give them little things and say, hey, you don't need no man. Hey, you don't need a man around, blah, 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 blah. And it's ruining families. It's ruining the foundation, but they expect us to build a house on a broken foundation. Yep. But people will see what I say and they just like, oh, you misogynistic. Oh, you hate women. You hate. I'm like, no, I just know great women. You be an example. I know great women. I know women that have been married for years. I know women that you ain't never seen their ass out. Excuse me. I said I wasn't gonna cuss. You ain't never seen their butt out on the internet nowhere. You ain't never heard nothing crazy about them. Yeah. Oh, your mama. I seen your mama sneaking in my daddy house and all that. Like, none of that. But here it is today. If you want to find out anything about somebody's mama, all you got to do is know her name. And you can see her Facebook. Yeah. You can see what porn she putting online. You can see her shaking her. You can see all this stuff now. And people see nothing wrong with it. The number one song out right now in hip hop is a song called Spin That. It's literally talking about prostitution. Talking about women using dudes for their money. And I'm like, something ain't right here, man. How are we just letting this go? How are we just accepting this? this is something this is a balance that's been shifted.
Yeah.
And you look at what's going on in Chicago. You look at what's going on in St. Louis. You look at what's going on in this city right here. Mm-hmm. Most of the time, ain't no man around. Ain't nobody to show them how to control their emotions. Yeah. Ain't nobody that never showed them something different outside of this. This is all they see. This is all they know. That's why they run around here killing each other. That's why they keep making the same mistake. I remember, like, we did some bad stuff. We made some dumb decisions, but we ain't never think to go, hey, let me put all this dope on the internet. Let me go put my gun, like, something wrong.
Yeah.
Mentally, something is not right. I don't get that. Yeah. I've seen dudes literally get online. I got unlimited perk 30s. I got this, I got that, showing everything on the table. I'm like, with their government name on this page. What's wrong here?
You know, again, it depends on the age and the maturity.
Right.
Scientifically, whether they're mature or not. And this is defining me. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking for validation. Mm-hmm. And this defines me because as many people will look up to that lifestyle, as many people gonna gravitate to it. Yeah. To say, you know, I'm somebody special. I'm somebody that's moving things. I'm a man about town, whatever. Because this is who I have used this to define me. Right. And I'm a lot of different, you know, just in your conversation, just what you were saying.
Sorry. Be going on long.
The music used to be romantic music. Mm-hmm. How to love one another. And the value, you know, romance. And
it used to be more balanced.
It was. But as people became a little more self-centered, self-focused, inner focused, and not reflective, they didn't want to hear that because people didn't want to be hurt. A lot of people didn't want to be hurt. And then you breed that same mentality. And this thing about, I don't need a man. You don't necessarily need a woman or a man, but you ought to want someone of the opposite sex in your life to balance you.
That's why I say we part of a whole. We not complete.
You know, one of my biggest questions was, you know, here I go. I guess they gonna say he like his auntie. One of my biggest questions is, why do two women that be together fight more than a woman and a man? I'm trying to figure all that out. What's the benefit of y'all relationship?
Exactly.
I thought it was. Exactly. I asked. I mean, I'm that person. Yeah. I asked, what's the benefit of this same sex relationship? Y'all fight. Y'all try to kill each other. I thought it was a perk.
People don't understand. They got more domestic violence over there than anybody.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, go hate me because you can. But, you know, true question. Yeah. I asked. I want to know the perk. Because if it ain't no perk, I want to know why you doing it. If this situation ain't bringing a greater value, well, I ain't in it.
Yeah, and it don't.
So,
you know what it is? I think people just want to be accepted for any and everything that they feel.
Well, it's sensationalized.
Yeah. You know, I'm like, well, how selfish is that?
It is. It's the same level of selfishness of I'm leaving and you and the kids because I'm finna go do me. Mm-hmm. That's the same level of selfishness. Yeah. You accountability. You brought them here. It is you bear a responsibility to making sure that they're okay until they're at a level. I used to be like, people say, well, we stay together for the kids. I'm like, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. That's not crazy. Mm-hmm. That's saying there's a cause greater than me. Right. That I'm going to commit to. Right. Now, our little differences, we just going to have to ride in this same boat.
Right. And it's like, to me, it just strengthens your love for the person if you let it.
If you let it.
Yeah, because it's like, all right, well, I love you because all these things that you do that I like and you different from other women. All right, cool. But when you have a kid with somebody and y'all got that project, that lifelong project to work on, y'all become deeper partners. Y'all become all of that. The problem is people don't see that level of importance on their kids. They can say that all they want. They just like, well, I don't care. I'm not happy. I want this, I want that. It's like, but what about your kids?
Well, you
Again,
can't become the kid then.
right? Exactly.
you now you the kid.
Exactly. It's like, where did we get to this point where it's just like, I don't care about nothing but how I feel in the moment.
Have temper tantrum, try to get their way.
And that's what kids care about. Like a kid to eat cookies and donuts every night if they wanted to. They don't know the importance of having a balanced diet. But as an adult, you should.
You should.
You know.
And just thinking about if we would also remember as women that you are the first woman in your son's life.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the kind of daughter-in-law you want?
Boy, hey, I said this. Hey, y'all know, I done said this a bunch of times. It's crazy to me how you could be like, oh, use these niggas and take their money and blah, 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 blah. Would you want your son to date you? Would you want your son to run into a chick like you? Come on, man.
That's why there be so much mother-in-law hate.
What? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Your son mad at you.
Right. Exactly.
Now you mad.
That's true. That's so true.
I've lived long enough to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Males dominated by their mother.
Mm-hmm.
That's the chick they gonna be with.
Yeah.
And their mama gonna be mad. It's gonna be an ongoing fight because she gonna run your son just like you did.
Yeah.
And you can't stand it.
That's true.
And men, you gotta realize that your daughter, that's the man, that's the first man. Every man after you is gonna be compared to you.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter always she was telling me, we was all together yesterday and she was telling Dad, like, I married you, Dad.
Mm-hmm.
And her husband, they,
same. Yeah.
They same.
Yeah.
Hardworking, very blunt to the point, but providers.
Yeah.
And very much who, know who they are.
Yeah.
And, but that's who she saw, He the one taught her how to drive. He the one taught her, like, do this, do that. Don't let nobody say this, don't, whatever. Just tell them who your daddy is. And it worked, My daddy, who your daddy? My daddy, Kenny Campbell. Oh, okay. And it got straight, And so that man for their daughter, what you want your daughter, what kind of man you want her to run into? Right. That's the kind of man you want to be.
I always say that. I always say that, like, man.
But it goes back to accountability.
Yeah.
And not trying to blame other people, for your failure or your shortcomings.
Right.
And not even that. Let me make it a little more. We ain't gonna say shortcoming, your failure. Your decision not to improve.
Right. And now you got 2 sons, 2 daughters. Did you plan that? Is that how you wanted it to be?
That's what I wanted.
And that's crazy because I swear to God, I was like, before Canaan was born, I'm like, I want a son first. And then I want another son, and I'm going to have a daughter. No, I said I want a daughter and another son. It came kind of out because Kobe came out first by a couple of minutes, but that's exactly how I wanted it to be. I'm like, ain't that crazy?
Yeah. But you can, there is power in how you talk. Yeah. And that's why you do have to watch your words. You're responsible for your words. Yeah. You can't talk real loose because, our words can make us sink or swim.
Yeah, I got to learn that. I be talking crazy.
Yeah. Be careful. But truth is truth. Yeah. You can't change that part. But I wanted 2 girls, 2 boys. At one point, I did, after I had Teresa, I was like, man, I don't want no more kids. Mm-hmm. But then I dreamed I had a son, and I'm like, that must be somebody else. I'm babysitting, And then I'm like, nah, I don't want no more kids. Then I dreamed I had a daughter, and I said the same thing. I must be babysitting, But then after that, I'm like, no, ain't no more dreams.
Yeah,
ain't no more nothing. That's the end of that story.
What made you just say, all right, I'm done?
Well, I had to have C-section.
Oh.
No. Yeah. So that was the end of that.
Yeah.
Give you your little customary 3 and
I would want more kids. It's just Kathy's last birth with the twins. That was that was scary. She lost a bunch of blood and they rushed me out. They couldn't turn Khaleesi. She had Kobe, but couldn't turn Khaleesi. And they rushed me out and I was just asking, like, was she all right? She cool? They was like, we'll let you know. And then it's like, do you want to see your son? I'm like, not really. Let me know if she all right, you know? And they just kept giving me the runaround. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's scary.
I didn't know what was going on. So, yeah, that was tough. But I always thought, like, it's crazy how your sons look just like Kenny and your daughters look just like you. That's crazy. It's almost like split down the middle.
Man, sometimes I get them confused.
Do you?
Yeah.
With who?
Teresa.
Oh, yeah. They do look just alike sometimes.
Yeah.
Bug look like Kenny, man. I mean, he look like Grandpa to me.
Oh, he act like Grandpa.
Don't he?
Oh, my goodness. That was his favorite person.
Yeah.
They just alike. But Calandra is so much like Tempest.
Is she?
Their mannerism.
I ain't noticed that.
Get them together.
Okay.
They move their hands and they all that their mannerisms.
I didn't notice that because she's so quiet. I don't know.
She can talk now.
Yeah.
But their mannerism is just alike.
Yeah.
And which is, I was like, our kids are like Carol and Niecy kids, your mom kids like Greg to a certain degree.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I see that. I definitely see that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It is something that this brother kids, his sister kids like that. Brother.
Yeah, that is crazy. Because I've got that my whole life. Like, you have a son? No. Nah, that's my uncle. Like, why y'all keep saying that, man?
Him and Teresa sound alike.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Sound alike.
That's weird.
And it is. They sound, when I hear him talk, I'm like, man, you sound just like Greg. But then other times, like, especially as he's getting older, he sounds like more like Ken. I get them all. When they all together, it's hard.
Yeah, Terrell sounds just like Kenny at times. I'll be like, okay, yeah, that's who's over the phone. I'm like, who? Like, I can't really tell.
It's to me too, because I'm like,
that's crazy.
It's funny too because Caleb the youngest, but he kind of boss of them.
Yeah, Caleb boss of you. I'm like, cuz, you little cuz, like, chill out, man. You like, I know, man, but I'm just, no, chill, man.
You want to be the boss man.
Yeah. But I was saying, like, I noticed that, like, you have natural hair. You got the natural locks. Mm-hmm. You've always had natural hair. I don't really remember you having weave like that. I mean, you had times where you did, but you've been natural for a long time. And I noticed that K-Poo's been natural the whole time too. Was that a conscious effort or what? Where did that come from?
So for me, it was intentional. I mean, I need to like me. Mm-hmm. Every bit of me.
Right.
And the pressure we put on each other about our hair is unreal. Mm-hmm. From calling it nappy to grading it, Mm-hmm. Oh, you got some bad hair. How can hair be bad?
Man, boy, what you said.
Tell me how hair can be bad. It has different, levels of curliness, but bad is a term you shouldn't apply to hair. And why we self-hating?
I ain't said. You see? I didn't say it. This is a grown woman saying this, all right? With a lot of wisdom, a lot of smarts. I've been saying that for the last, like, are you going through all of this to put some hair on your head that come from another country somewhere that then cut off some poor lady and ship to you? Like, if that ain't self-hatred, indoctrination, I don't know what is. I've told Kanan, my son's hair texture is different. So everybody, oh, that pretty hair. He got beautiful hair. Like every time they say that, son, tell them it's just hair. It's just hair on the flip side of that. Cause I'm like, in a way, that's self-hatred. Like,
it is. And it's because, we've been looked at and judged about our hair. Mm-hmm. So for me, going natural was a way to show up and say, "Here I am." Mm-hmm. You want what is your goal with me? Is it what I bring to the table, or you worry about my hair?
Yeah.
If you worry about my hair, I can go get a job today.
Yeah.
So here I am. Yeah. Now you got to take me, all of me.
Right. That's
I've been,
dope.
you know, I've been called. I had a coworker call me, "You're very conservative." I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about, lady. I'm just me.
Straightforward.
I don't have a style. I wear what I want to wear.
Yeah.
But it was a journey, and it freed me
Yeah.
from the expectations of others of how I'm supposed to show up.
Mm-hmm.
I show up with my hair. I like my hair. It's like, you wearing ponytails like a little kid. I said, and
I don't even think.
I like ponytails.
Right.
I mean, I'm okay.
Yeah.
You got to figure out why you feel like you feel about that. But it's definitely been a journey of self acceptance on another level.
Mm-hmm.
No, it wasn't that I didn't accept myself, but there was still a little part of me with that hair situation that was trying to accommodate the feelings and the thoughts of others.
There you go.
So I had to let that go.
That's it.
Because you take me or leave me. Either you like me or you don't. So, and that shouldn't be the determining factor.
And there's something powerful about that too.
It is. It's an embracing of yourself.
Yeah.
And when you do that, then you start to kill off other parts of you that you have subjugated.
Right. And when I've gotten to the point where I don't know if it's just enlightenment or whatever, but when I see a woman with natural dreads or any type of natural hairstyle, I have automatically a different level of respect for her off the rip. It's like the difference between a woman that's in like a business suit and a woman that's in booty shorts. Like I got a different level of respect for her off the rip. So when I see that and then I see somebody with like a sew-in wig, I'm like, yeah, I ain't going to automatically say you stupid or whatever, but I'm like, this woman right here just seems smarter to me. And I might be wrong to judge from the...
You know, I just realized that some people just ain't ready for their journey. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Because I don't want to be judgmental because I don't know your baggage. Yeah. But you know, beauty is not so superficial. To me, true beauty is what we're doing. Having an excellent discourse. Yeah. Sharing wisdom and knowledge and how we've evolved. That's beautiful. Right. No, it doesn't have anything to do with how we look or how we're dressed. Right. It has everything to do with the wisdom and having integrity and challenging the status quo. That's beautiful to me.
And see, that's something else too. Over time, I think all of that makeup, all of that stuff just wears on you and you start looking a certain way. As when you see natural women, they tend to age gracefully. It's a little different. So I'm like, I've had conversations with women that I'm just like, all right, you look good or whatever from what I'm used to seeing as what I know to be beauty or whatever. But when you have a conversation with somebody that you looking in their face and they no makeup, skin pure, it's a different level of respect for our beauty. It's a little different. It's like, man, like you really beautiful. You ain't, this clown makeup beautiful. You really beautiful. It's a little different. You gotta respect her.
Because you're putting out different energy.
Right, right.
You are coming and saying, this is who I am. Deal with it or don't. Yeah. And you gotta like that in a person because it takes a level of boldness and courage to say, here I am. You sent for me, so here I am.
And it's something about, like, from a man's perspective, like, let's say courting a woman, it's something about a man that's attracted to that, like, for like long haul type stuff, not just, sexual or whatever. It's attracted like, dang, like, I can have a kid with you. I can marry you. I can stick with you because your mind is different. And I want to pass that same mentality down to my daughter. Yeah. I want my daughter to look in the mirror and say she love herself. Like I seen a video the other day where it was this little girl at her birthday party and she might have been 9 years old, something like that. Slick back, ponytail down to the back of her knees. And her dad like, you finna take that out your head right now. Like, nah, we not doing that or whatever. And the mama getting mad and everybody in the comments, let her live her best life. She feel beautiful. I'm just like, How is that the point? We supposed to be teaching them to love theyself.
Yeah.
It's like she gonna take pictures tonight. We want her daughter and that daughter after that daughter to be able to look at that and say like, wow, mom always been beautiful, even when she was a kid, you know.
Because you don't want to keep perpetuating that.
Yeah.
That I can only look good if I'm looking like this.
Right. Man, it's so wild, Auntie. I've seen situations where somebody be like, "Oh, I look better with this particularly app taking pictures. I look better with this app." I'm like, the camera's better. I'm like, it's the same camera. You don't even notice the filter.
Yeah.
You don't even see that this is digitally imposed on your face to make you look like that. Look in the mirror. You don't like that. What's wrong with you, man? It's okay, man, to like who you are. And then if you say you don't like, if somebody tell you don't like who you are, you feel offended. How?
I mean, I get a little confused when people constantly change their hair.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you have an identity crisis.
Man.
Because who are you?
Mm-hmm.
Who are you today? Next week, you're going to be somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm probably going to offend a bunch of people too.
It is. It's all right. Don't worry about it.
You do have to, you got to think about that kind of stuff. Why am I doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Who am I doing this for?
Right. Who did I learn that from?
Yeah. Why? Yeah. Because that's the most important question. Why?
Yeah.
If you can't answer that question, I was talking to someone just recently, and they said, I said, you know what? You just don't know your value.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, that's what my boyfriend said. I said, if he told you that, he told you all you need to know.
Right.
I said, baby, I appreciate you because you don't appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, well, I know my value. I just choose to settle. I said, why?
That doesn't make sense.
Don't ask me why. I said, no, you should be asking you why.
Right.
Why? Why are you choosing to settle?
Ain't it crazy?
Yeah, it's like, I know all the answers on the test, but I'm going to flunk it anyway.
Yeah.
Why? Are you afraid of your own ability to be great?
Right.
Are you afraid of who you could be?
Yeah, it's wild, Auntie.
Yeah, it's stuff going on out there.
It's crazy with the whole self-hatred thing, though. Like, they so far indoctrinated, and it's been going on for so long, they don't even realize it's there.
Yeah.
They don't see it's there at all. It's just like if 50 years from now, black people was walking around with white hoods and sheets all over and don't realize where it come from. Like, you better do your homework. You walk around look like KKK member. You don't realize it. Like, ain't nothing wrong with you, man. That's what you are telling. There's something wrong with you. I remember back in the early 90s, the whole thing was to try to make the weave look real. Now they don't even care to make it look real. They don't care. Oh, I'm 38 inches tomorrow. I'm going to be a short wig today. I'm going to do blonde hair the next day. It's like, you don't even care.
Yeah, because it's always been around, but you didn't know it.
Yeah.
It wasn't that obvious.
Right.
But now you're
trying to trick somebody.
I'll be glad when this baby hair season is over.
Real talk.
Some babies ain't never had no baby hair.
Right.
You get grown trying to.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I'm just saying, the baby hair season, I'll be glad when it's, I hope that's a fad.
Yeah. That's dope, though, that you had the mindset even back then to be like, I want my daughters to have, natural hair. Like, I don't want them doing the whole weave thing all the time and all that.
Because hair will grow.
Yeah.
It all grows.
Yeah.
I think the big question is why. Mm-hmm. People don't ask why. Yeah. Why are we doing this?
Mm-hmm.
I read a article one time and it was talking about, and I think I shared this with, I'm going to keep it brief, but like grandma, and it's because it's probably been heard, grandma cut the end off the ham, right? And so consequently, that's what was passed on down the line. Mm-hmm. One day, somebody finally asked why. Mm-hmm. And, because the pan was too small. that don't even apply anymore.
Right.
You
Right.
just doing
Just
what's
doing
been
it.
done
Yep.
without asking why.
Right.
So that just applies to life. Why are we doing this?
Right. That's real.
And if you just start asking yourself, even why we do that?
Yeah. Then
you might find that these don't need to be done anymore.
Right.
Because times have changed and things are better, and
yeah, it's crazy. Cause like I look at dudes now and like take like for instance sagging your pants. I look at dudes now and they do it for fashion. They do it because they want to. I remember at a time where like you did that because you didn't want to flood. You didn't want your pants to flood at the bottom. So that's why we start wearing tall tees and long tees to cover our butt while we sagging.
Yeah, it was a legitimate reason.
Right.
Yeah.
But then that over time it became, oh, I'm wearing tight jeans and I'm sagging. It's like, well, what you doing? Why you doing that?
Well, don't be doing nothing to try to run from the police.
Yeah, caught up.
I've seen too many people falling.
Right.
Helping the police out.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah.
But you do have to have a why for everything you do.
Right.
Why do you live where you live? Why do you drive what you drive? Nothing wrong with asking yourself why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Right. Right. Before we got on here, we was talking about people not wanting to win. I'm going to touch on that before we get out of here.
Okay.
People not wanting to win. And that's something that I've experienced my whole life. I remember, well, not my whole life, since I was a teenager. I remember telling people like, hey, if we stay doing this movie stuff or we stay doing it, we're going to be big in a few years. We're going to be on point in 5 years or whatever. I'm looking at Tyler Perry plays and all that. And then I've watched them go to movies and I'm like, man, we can do that too. I'm telling people and people were just like, yeah, whatever, and I always, it made me bitter, but it also made me go like, look at people sideways like, man, you ain't trying to do nothing. Like, you wasting my time, get away from me. And that isolated me in a way. So I see it all over. Like people would rather be a loser, a victim, and get attention from that than actually winning. What is that?
I think so. In your case, the hardest sale is your vision.
Oh yeah, facts.
You can say it and you can see how all it'll play out. But that other person who you might be like trying to sell that vision to, if they don't catch it, they can't realize it with you.
I always say it's a gift and a curse.
It is.
Yeah.
The other part to it is sometimes it requires you to do that which you reluctant to do, which is like move out of that circle. That's hard because there's a part of you that feel like you're leaving people behind that you want to have this same level of success with you, and you see that vision.
Facts.
But man, sometimes you have to go to other pastors and find that group of people that
like-minded.
Say, man, I get you. I've been thinking the same thing, So that, to me, speaks for you specifically in that scenario. On a whole, so much you're gonna never be nothing. So much foundational doubt, and I have to say it because it comes from somewhere. I don't think it just materializes and you're just a coward.
Yeah,
I think that failure and people not saying, okay, you failed, get up, come on, let's go. Little story that to kind of bring home that point. When I was I remember being second, third grade, right? Third grade, and we had the monkey bar. I would go to the top of the monkey bar. That's me, overachiever. So my close friend, my A1 down, like, come on. So she coming, but then we got another person that's part of our group that's on the ground saying, "You gonna fall? You better come back." And so my A1 like stopped and went back down.
That's perfect.
And our lives have been like that.
That's perfect analogy. Yep.
These monkey boys, we ought to be at the top. That's my mentality.
Right.
Had no reason to think that way.
Yeah.
But had no reason not to. No. Fear. No. You can't do it. You ain't gonna make it. You're gonna fall. You're gonna hurt you. You're gonna break your arm. I ain't gonna break my arm. But, you know, you got other people that's like, man, they might be right. They get in your head and then there you are.
It's also a lot of, I guess people always say people that are just meant to just be fans, they can't be stars. So it's like, I remember one time we was about to open up for this famous rapper. I ain't gonna say who it is, but the people I brought with me, they was just fanning out. I'm like, dude, chill. We here to get money like them. So y'all better snap out of that. Like they thing was like, man, I can't, like, no, focus on what we need to be doing. What are y'all doing, man? And I was so frustrated and just annoyed. I'm just like, man, bro, y'all tripping. Every few minutes you got to go outside and smoke because you want to get a glimpse of this dude. And I'm like, bro, we are here to do a sound check. We here to work. And I was just annoyed. But their mindset was just like, I ain't as good as this. I ain't as good as that. Well, he was just sitting at home like we was a year ago. But now you all on him like he just God Almighty. What's wrong with you, man?
It reminds me about when the 12 spies went to spy out the promised land. 2 of them went over there and they're like, we can do this. Yeah. The other 10 said, the land is good, but the people are tall. They giants. And we look like grasshoppers to them. They didn't say that though, but they said. They viewed themselves as inferior. So you can't go past what you see in you. You know? And that's what, you know, you supposed to be the star and you become a fan. You have now relegated yourself to a lower status than what you can live up to. Right. And a lot of people do that. No.
Well, you just said something so important and so impactful. If y'all pick up on it, I'm going to end it right there then. That's it. That's a good word, Auntie. I appreciate you coming. We got to do this again because we ain't had enough time, man. We read through that 2 hours quick. So
it didn't even seem like 2 hours.
I know, right? It seemed like maybe an hour. But yeah, we got to do this again. If I didn't have to run, I'd keep going, but I appreciate it.
I understand. I got to go. I'm dealing with somebody now that's like got a lot of trauma and stuff. You know, sense of self. This is what I do. And I realize that this is what I'm born to do. I've always done it.
There you go. Keep doing the good work.
I appreciate it. But thank you. I appreciate it.
All right.
That was fun. What that song said, that's my type of character.
I'm glad you came. Some people be scared to come up here.
Really?
Yeah, people like, man, I don't know what you gonna say. I don't know. Yeah, okay, you be all right.
Listen, live and tell how you live it.
Right.
And be willing to learn.
Right. This is the Black Room Experience, man. We out.